Today, the topic is anxiety, clearing other people's energy out of our space, and coming to a place where we could have a restful night sleep. In today's session, like every energy healing hour, I will be providing live channeled healings, and I'll be leading you through a guided meditation. Okay, and I'll intend for the channeled healing to be for anyone who's live on this call with me right now, or anybody who will be listening to the recording later. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So normally I have zero difficulty falling asleep. My head hits the pillow and I'm out, and it's taken me many years to get to this place, but I've been very peaceful. I'd say for the last 3-4 years in general, that's been my momentum. But then I had a snafu with somebody last month and everything changed. Now, I've been working with people for a long time on cutting energy cords. People come to see me all the time and they're like, this coworker, blah, 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 or, some other person's causing them distress and it's preventing them from being their highest and true self. And so through a process, I release their energy and I have the person call back their own energy and the whole dynamic shifts, okay? In another video, I will be talking more precisely about the steps for cutting cords. However, what happened is I tried this process out on myself for this very incident and it didn't work. The person's energy was still there and it was still there, reminding me of what a crappy, awful, selfish person I was. And it literally was like the most humbling experience and that I've had in a really long time. Like I literally, I didn't even want to be doing any videos for the last month. This is actually my first week that I'm really like, okay, I'm coming back out. So in this process, I actually had a client text me and she's like, I can't get this person's energy out of my space. How do I do it? And it was the first time I responded with the answer, you can't do it. You need somebody else to help you. And that's really weird because I'm a empowerment coach. I'm a coach that teaches people that you create your own destiny. You could create your whole dynamic with everything in the world. I'm actually in the midst of a manifestation program, how to change the circumstances in your life. And so after I sent that text, I thought, well, hold on a second. There's gotta be a way for a person to be able to clear out somebody else's energy. And so I used to be a practicing Buddhist. And so I remembered what my teacher said, just find a calm, neutral space and follow your breath. And I tried that and I probably got to only 6 breaths before my mind wandered. Yes, I could, we could all use more practice with that. And if that technique works for you, please do it. That is an excellent way to find a place of peacefulness. But when we're in a state of feeling the emotions that I just described that we just can't release from our energy space, it feels like a tiger is after us and we just want to run, or we just want to hide, or somewhere in between those two extremes. And we also want to isolate in some way, but what we actually need is somebody to be there with us and tell us it's going to be okay, like a grandma kind of energy. But this is the very energy we push away at the same time. Now, you might understand what I'm talking about when you think about, like, I have a husband who was kind of like, you got to get over this, Shara. This is not that big of a deal, and you're a good person. You're not a bad person. But if you know what I mean with the relationship that you've had, whatever the other person says, it doesn't really change the way that you feel on the inside, right? And so this is the dichotomy is it's an internal experience, but the hardest part of it is that you're so alone. And so I developed a process that I'm going to actually take you through because I've been researching this for the last month of how I can actually be my own self-healer. So the way I think about it is, yes, it's true that I believe you can't do it yourself, but you could access your higher self or another entity or spirit or whatever you want this other thing to be. And you, being the wounded one right here, could channel energy from another space, another energy, another being into your state of mind that you're in right at this very moment. So, and also, if you get confused with how to do this, this video will be live and available for you. And so you could always use my voice or my guidance to be the healer to help to remove these energy cords and to come back into your true self. So when we're triggered, and what we're talking about is triggers, what happens is it activates our reverberating neural system. What that is a circuit inside of our nervous system that activates memories and nerve impulses from previous traumas. Throughout our life, we've been collecting a whole bookload of traumas and triggers. And so once it's activated, it's sometimes really hard to just relax and calm down. And so in a moment, I'm going to lead you through a guided meditation with nice music in the background to help you to relax your nervous system and heal this wounded inner part of yourself. But before I do, I'm just going to make mention of psychic vampires. Many of you, I'm sure, have heard this term. So let's just talk about what I mean by psychic vampires. This is when, that coworker or that client or that just awful person is in your space and you feel like they're taking your energy, they're draining you. It's like, just get out of here. When they're there, this causes us to think thoughts that limit our source flow potential from coming into our body. It blocks our grounding and it blocks our clearness of thought. It's because this energy is unable to flow, this eventually results in physical ailments. And guess what? Lo and behold, I happened to, here I am getting vulnerable with my audience. I actually got a MRI last week and it showed a cyst on my liver. And I've kind of prided myself on my excellent health that I've had. And I actually called upon somebody else to do an energy reading for me. And she said, this is a cord that came from somewhere else that is due to your level of guilt and shame. I was like, bingo, there it is. I created a cyst for myself. That being said, it's utterly important that we learn how to clear other people's energy so we don't take them with us to sleep, into our dreams, into our subconscious. Psychic vampires are the people who steal energy, but they do it in a very subconscious backdoor way. They act with behaviors of entitlement and craft the situation so it looks like they're the good guy. They're doing the right thing. They're very righteous, and they'll have some way of showing you how you're the bad and you're the one that deserves to hold the guilt, while they're the victim, that we did something that caused them to feel the way that they are or be in the situation that they are in. Psychic vampires often hang around spiritual people or empaths because we as empaths have a tendency to take in other people's energy and own the onus of the responsibility and the onus of the guilt. In other words, we're very likely to give our energy back to them instead of it being 50-50, because I do believe in every situation there's responsibility to be had on both ends. All the responsibility is on your plate and for you to handle. So these people have less of an awareness on self-healing and more of an emphasis on being right. And by doing this, they feel more powerful. They all of a sudden get energy in their body when they're behaving in this way. They often also have very few friends, but they feel very justified for every situation of their life. Why they're not friends or why they're not hanging out with other people. Yet here's the thing. I want you to know that we live in a law of attraction universe. What that means is when a psychic vampire is in your space, there's something in your vibrational field that is attracting them to you. And this is the area for you to take responsibility on. Psychic vampires come in when there's an ounce of powerlessness, an ounce of lack of seniority, an ounce of confidence in your space. Or in my case, my ego is getting away from me, and I actually had the thought right before this incident happened, oh my God, I need to freaking ground myself because I'm like so full of myself right now. That was actually what happened to me. So in some subconscious way, we call them in. We always call in such circumstances in our subconscious. The way to clear them is to reclaim your seniority, to reclaim your power, and to reclaim your authority. If you're in this position, they literally cannot hurt you. And when you're in this position, to the degree that they're not impacting you, then their power isn't as potent. So this is easier said than done, but you probably have the experience that by the time their energy is out of your space, you're able to function freely, and most likely their energy is elsewhere, either on their own life or maybe attacking somebody else, who knows. But at that point, you don't really even care. Thank you, Rainbow. I just saw your text so perfectly described. I love that. The spiritual egotist has the right to be yes, indeed. All right. So now in this video, I'm not going to focus on how to reclaim those parts of yourself. I'll save that for a different video. But in this video, I'm going to focus on actually healing that wounded part when you're in it. Because I know we all have experiences that even as spiritually developed as we are, we just can't get rid of their energy. And it's disrupting us in every single way and helping us to feel a lower vibration than we actually should. Now, by the way, if you are a psychic vampire, the first step to healing it is simply to acknowledge it. Simply to, by the way, also psychic vampires dissociate from their physical body. They cord onto other people. They're very manipulative. They're very narcissistic. They're very codependent. And that literally is the cord that is sucking your energy. So if you are a psychic vampire, that's the perfect place to start, is simply by admitting it. And then going forth from there, step by step, with the intention to have a different experience with the people that you have in your life. So a different experience with the people around you. That is the intention for a psychic vampire, to just take that step forward towards having the friends that you actually want to have and doing whatever internal work it will take to actually put one step forward on taking the responsibility that is yours to take, but that's probably more of an advanced step. The one step I might actually recommend is to start to have an awareness on how your energy is impacting other people. This is something I've been doing lately. Like I'll go to a restaurant and I'll be like, how is the energy here in this space? How am I leaving this restaurant? Is it better or worse than when I came at the experience of the waiter, the experience of the people sitting around us? I recommend that as the second step. The first step for psychic vampire is just admit it. Second step is just to be aware of the energy that you are having with other people. People who are spiritually developed want to leave almost like a flower energy or positive energy everywhere that they go. And this is actually the level of consciousness I believe that we're coming up to. Maybe everybody on this call, I only attract kind of spiritually minded people. So people, that's the next level of consciousness, is like, how am I leaving this room, this experience, this interaction with this person? And how am I leaving the earth, the planet? That is the next step for our development, okay? So now I'm going to bring you into a healing meditation, a guided meditation. So I invite you all to shut your eyes, find a quiet place, and I want you to first get in touch with a recent memory of a thought that just wouldn't stop. A similar situation to what I'm thinking of talking about. Yet, if you don't have anybody in the recent time that's in your space that you can clear, like if you can't think of somebody right off, then you could actually do it on an experience that is causing you distress, lack of sleep, lack of focus, lack of groundedness. Okay, so come up with one very clear present time, in the recent present time that you want to work with. And you'll know this is a good one to work with if it's definitely interrupting with your sleep. And see how she, or let's look at it from a third person. So when I say she, I want you to look at that as if it's a memory, like you're watching a movie, and see her, meaning you, having that experience, and just see the level of distress it causes in your body. See where you tend to contract or hold your body, and see what it's costing you in your life. You're definitely giving your energy away to this source energy it's not helping anybody or anything. And ask yourself, how much energy have I been given away to this thing? Now, just kind of put that memory into a bubble and move it off to the right side. And we're going to come back to that in just a moment. So now the next couple steps are I'm going to ask you to stretch your mind, stretch your imagination as we go back to heal it from the root. And for the healing, we're going to go back to a life before this life. And we're also going to go back to the inner child, your young child. So first, connect with your highest self. Connect with your higher self. However you do that. And ask your higher self to take you back in time, back to a memory before this life ever existed. A memory of you having an experience in your body that felt somewhat similar. And by the way, if you're unable to find a past life, don't worry, because I'm going to actually just perform the healing for you. When I did this a few weeks ago, when I created this whole structure of this video, I went back to a past life where I was in Peru or one of those countries around there, and I was a boy and I was weak and I didn't have the physical capabilities like the other boys in our tribe. And so the other boys were very active and playing, and they always left me out. And to do the healing, I picked my mother, because my mother I was very close with in this lifetime. And she performed the healing that I'm about to perform for you. So ask yourself, what's going on in this past life that's causing you to feel this way? And you're going to get just a flicker of a memory, just a flicker of a picture, and go with that one. This is a time when you felt wounded as a consequence of other people. You're in pain and you're hurting. Now ask yourself, who do you want to perform the healing on you? It could be somebody in that actual life, or it could be a spirit, or it could be me, anybody you want. And I want you to see yourself being supported by this being or person. So it could be either an energy being or an actual person. And I want her or his hand to be behind your back and one in front of your belly. The back hand is supporting your body, and the front hand is just in front of your chest. And the front hand is performing energy healing into your chest, into your body, letting you know that it's going to be all right. You are okay just the way you are. Let's send the energy from the right hand into your body. Now, I don't want you to do this. It could be your higher self. It could be some other entity or some other power doing the healing for you. But you, in this past life, just receive the healing. Just receive it. And now I want you to hold or imagine this being holding the right hand still and the left hand still. So both hands are on either side of your chest. And let's still the energy in your chest. Sending in the energy of it's okay. You're okay just the way you are. In fact, you're a perfect creation under God's hands. The universe is so happy you are here. And just breathe in between these two healing hands, sending in the energy of you're okay. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Feel that level of calmness coming into your body. Feel your breaths getting bigger. Feel the loving energy from whoever is performing this healing energy coming in to your body, filling you with your own light energy. And let's keep that energy flowing. And at the same time, let's set the intention to clear away other people's energy. Everybody else's energy must stay outside of your auric field. Every other energy must leave. Only your own sweet, innocent energy is allowed in here. We want you here. You're a beautiful being. Despite what anybody else thinks or says, you're amazing just the way you are. And it's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay. And you have two choices here as the healer. The healer either could just put one hand, keep the right hand, and keep it there for stillness. Or there's like a vortex energy coming in that I'm just being told to move my hand in this direction to send a vortex-like energy into your chest. And this is moving out all the stuck energy, the contracting energy, anxiety kind of energy. It's moving it, moving it, moving it. So it's like getting the hose flowing in your body. Okay, the healer could relax your hands. And just take a look at the little one or the person who you saw in your past life and see if they feel more revitalized, more of their own, less bothered by the circumstance. And let's close with giving a hug between the healer and yourself in the past life. Just give the healer, this wonderful healer, I see it as like a big mama energy, like a big Peruvian mama, giving me a hug. And it feels so warm and so reassuring. And then when you release the embrace, feel your feet. Connect your feet into the earth. And I want you to repeat these words either inside or out loud. I am. Say the words, I am. Beautiful. And then let's allow that past life to release from our body and float away. Release the past life completely. For the healing of this past life is now done. Next, we're going to, this is also called a timeline healing. So next we're going to go to your childhood. Go back to your childhood and sometime, like let's say age 10 or earlier, and find a memory of when you felt something similar in your body. And get a clear, crisp picture of this memory of childhood. It's the first one that comes up. Don't second guess it. It's that one. That one you need to work with. So my picture is I'm in second grade feeling so tense and scared of the other kids and like I have nothing to offer. Okay, so we need to do an intervention. We need to go in and heal this little one. So who do you want to be the healer? Decide right now, who is the healer going to be? And for this one, I'm calling in my higher self, my future self. You could either do higher self, future self. Okay, so just first get in touch with the level of anxiety and worry and panic that's going on for the little one. And we're going to stay with this scene. Don't jump around from different memories, different scenes. Just get very specific on the one picture. If you have several, you could re-listen to this video and do a different memory at a different time. Okay, so now that you have your one and you've decided who the healer is going to be, I want you to bring the healer into this memory with you. And I want them to take their left hand and put it so it's touching your back. And the right hand, let's just set it about 2 inches in front of your chest. And just breathe. I'm talking to you as if you are this little one now. So I want you to enter into her body or his body and become the little one. Just breathe in between the two hands. So set the intention with the two hands to create a level of stillness. Stillness in the chest. And with each breath, just feel the healing energy from the hands. And allow your ribs to widen just a little bit more with each breath. And with each breath comes a feeling of okayness, like I'm okay. I must be okay. You're amazing. There's actually nothing wrong with you. You are an outspring of the infinite potential and the infinite wisdom of this universe. And we are so happy that you are here. Breathe, and with each breath, allow your chest to take up space. Breathe in fresh oxygen. And then as the healer, you have a choice to either ask if either keeping the right hand still and stationary is most appropriate, or if you want to do a little bit of vortex healing to move the energy that's been so constricted. And just move your hand to move the energy. It's almost like petrified energy there. Static energy there. Let's move it like we're moving the energy, getting the flow going, but at the same time, reclaiming a sense of inner peace. Keep allowing the breath, allowing the oxygen. And you could ask, what else do you need in this moment? And whatever you need, allow the healer to provide it for you. Allow the healer to provide it for you. Good. And now just pause with the right hand and see if the breaths are even more full. Good. And now let's move all the other people's energies away. Anybody else's energy must remain outside of your aura. The healer has the potential to move everybody else's energy out. And all you need to do is receive. Just receive this positive light vibration. Great. Now let's just check in with how this little one's doing. Just take a moment and check in. She looks much more calm. You could ask, is there anything else this little one needs? Is there anything else you could do to help this one? And if so, then have the healer provide that to the little one, to you. Just ask for it. You could ask for it with your intention. Say, I need this. I need a hug. Maybe it's a hug you need. So allow the healer to hug the little one, and you just receive the loving embrace. You break the pattern when you allow someone to come in so intimately with you and to be there with you. Because when we're experiencing this, we feel like we're the only one in this space. We're the only one experiencing that. And in a moment, we're going to release the scene. If you want, let's take a healing energy. I'm getting light blue as appropriate. So let's bring light blue for calm tranquility into the little one's body. Yeah, and I notice there's spaciousness moving where before there was nervous constriction. And if you're listening to the replay of this, feel free to pause this recording and just keep providing healing energy to this little one until a sense of calm, ease, and okayness is achieved. And now we're ready to release this memory from our space. Release it, let it go. Wonderful, and come back into your body. You might notice that there's a subtle shift already occurring inside of yourself, especially if you're feeling any of these emotions I described initially. And now last and third, of the timeline healing is to heal the present. So go back to that memory that I asked you to find at the very beginning of this video. And it's a memory of where you're feeling discontent because of a circumstance or a person. It's causing you some unrest inside. It's blocking your flow of your vital energy. So go back to that memory, get very clear about where it was and what you're wearing, and literally see it very clearly. Create it as uncomfortable as it feels. And by the way, you might notice that right now to revisit that memory isn't as uncomfortable as it was a half an hour ago. So there you are in that memory, and ask, who do you want to do the healing? Is it a spirit? Is it an energy? Is it your grandma? It could be somebody who passed away that you felt very close to. So ask whatever being you want to come in and do the healing. And I'd like you to feel their left hand behind your back and the right hand in front of your chest. And the right hand is sending in healing rays of energy. It looks like they're a rose color energy, sending in some healing energy. And then let's create a sense of stillness in the chest to allow the breath to flow in and out. Calmness. Feels good, huh? You're okay just the way you are, despite the circumstances, despite what that person thinks or said or is however much he or she's in your space. You're okay just the way you are, and you are going to be okay. So now the vortex energy moving into your chest, clearing any blocks in your chest, any blocks on you feeling your highest and best self, moving your vital energy through your body. You could see it like gold light streaming through your body, out through your fingers, out through your legs and your feet into the earth, up through your head, water falling out the top of your head. Great. Now let's just pause with the two hands, and then let's check in. Is there anything else you need? You're going to be okay. I saw some constriction around your throat. So you're going to make it through this, and you're going to be okay, because you are the divine light potential that the universe put here on this planet for a particular reason. And you're going to be okay. You are love. And let's go ahead and move out anybody else's energy, anything, any person outside of your aura. This is only about you. And let's create a solid circle around your aura. And that is your boundary. That is your space. Let's create it very clearly. Wonderful. Okay, and let's just pause and let's just hold you and see if there's anything else that's needed. And you're looking pretty good. So perhaps you want to end with a hug from the healer, gratitude, and let's bring grounding into you, connection through your grounding cord, through your legs, into your feet, into the earth, with the reminder of who you are, and that despite this person, despite the circumstances, you are going to be okay, and you're going to be more than okay. You're going to actually thrive. And let's say goodbye to that person, the healer. And let's say goodbye to that memory. Let's send it off to the left. So send it off to your left. And now we're going to come into completion. So just kind of check in with yourself. if you feel more embodied, like more inside of your body, more taking up space inside your body, I want you to set an intention for yourself for the rest of the day, like how you want to be, like it looks like you want to be fully you. Like my intention is to be fully me. My intention is to reclaim my light. My intention is to refine my vitality. My intention is to let those beings and things out, like go. There's no reason for me to keep courting them back. I'm much better without them. And from this space, I want you to draw a line forward through the rest of your day, where you're taking this new energy to, this new energy that's actually you. So it's not really new, but it just feels new. Take it through to the rest of your day, all the way to the end of the day, where there you are lying in bed. And as you're there lying in bed, there's angels around. There's white angels. And there's spaciousness around your bed. It's almost like air, like a ventilator was there, but there's not a ventilator. It's just fresher air, more spacious oxygen. And set an intention for you to sleep peacefully through the night tonight. And you could also set an intention with how you wish to wake up tomorrow, what energy. And to complete, I'd like you to take in the white light energy. This is Supreme Being energy. Take it in through your crown and let this milky white beige energy come in through your energy, split out your throat, go out your arms, out through your fingers, down your body, legs, feet, and into the earth. And if you're sitting in a chair, you could do the next and last step. And if you're laying down, no need. But if you're sitting in a chair, just bend forward, slide your hands down past your knees towards your ankles. This is called balancing, where we let the excess residue of the healing slough off of us. Anything seen and unseen to be released from this moment, from this amazing healing that you just performed on yourself. And when you come back up to sitting, feel the huge shift that just occurred for you. Because the truth is that you are your own best healer. So I'll open it up to comments and questions for just another moment. But do know, if I don't get to your comments and questions right now, because I'm going to turn off this video in just a minute or two, I'll answer all of the comments down below. If you're listening to it live, just refresh your screen and you will see the comments below. So feel free to just subscribe if you would be so kind. And now let's see what comments we have. Fazia says, my intention is to reclaim my light. Yes, you should. Lots of thank yous. Oh, Maddie, that is a big question. I have to work with you one-on-one for that one. All right, my loves. Until next time. Mwah. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Rainbow. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, everybody.